Hey everyone, welcome back to Learn and Speak Easy English. I'm Michael.
And I'm Lucy. So, tell me, Michael, what's the one question that makes almost every English learner freeze up, even the confident ones?
Oh, that's easy. Tell me about yourself.
Exactly. 4 simple words, but somehow they create this moment of absolute panic. Your mind goes blank, you forget half your vocabulary, and you end up saying something like, my name is,
I've been there. And here's the thing. This isn't just about casual conversations. This question pops up everywhere. Job interviews, obviously. First day of English class, networking events, professional conferences. Even just meeting new people at a party.
Right. And I'll be honest with you guys, I still get nervous when I have to introduce myself, especially in formal settings. And English is my first language. So if you feel anxious about this, you're completely normal. The nervousness doesn't really go away.
But you know what does help? Preparation. And that's exactly what we're doing today. By the end of this video, you're going to have a complete, polished self-introduction that you can memorize and adapt for different situations.
We're going to walk through every single component. What to say, how to say it, and most importantly, how to make it sound natural instead of like you're reading from a script. So grab a notebook because you'll want to write down your own version as we go.
Perfect. Let's start at the very beginning. How do you actually start talking?
All right, greetings. This seems basic, right? But this is where a lot of people accidentally sound too formal or too casual for the situation. So let's break this down.
For formal situations, think job interviews, presentations, meeting your professor. You've got a few solid options. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening.
Notice that's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, not good night. I cannot tell you how many times students say good night when they walk into a room. Good night is only for when you're leaving or going to bed. It's a goodbye, not a hello.
Such a common mistake. Now, in British English, you might hear good day as well. But honestly, even in the UK, it's becoming a bit old-fashioned. In Australia, though, they love it.
But if you're speaking American English or in most international business contexts, stick with good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. You can't go wrong.
Now, for informal situations, meeting classmates, casual networking, social events, you can relax a bit. Hi, hello, hey.
Hey is very casual and friendly. Some people use hey there or even heya. I personally love hey there. It just feels warm and approachable. But if that feels too casual for you, hi or hello work perfectly.
And here's the key. Choose what feels comfortable to you. If hey doesn't feel natural coming out of your mouth, don't force it. You want to sound like yourself, just in English.
Exactly. All right, you said hello. Now what?
Now you tell them your name. And yes, this seems incredibly obvious, but there are actually a few different ways to do this depending on the context.
The most straightforward versions are, my name is Lucy, or I'm Lucy. Both are perfectly fine.
If you're on the phone or in a large group where people can't see you clearly, you might say, this is Michael speaking, or just, this is Michael.
That one's especially common in professional phone calls. Good morning, this is Lucy from the marketing department.
Now, you could also add your full name in more formal contexts. My name is Michael Johnson, or I'm Michael Johnson. In very formal situations, especially introductions at conferences or official events, full names are expected.
But in casual settings, first name is totally fine. Don't overthink this part. Just pick the version that matches your situation and move on.
Speaking of moving on, let's talk about where you're from.
Okay, this is where things get more interesting because you can give different levels of detail depending on how much time you have and how formal the situation is.
The simplest version, I'm from India. Just your country. Done.
Or you can mention your city, I'm from New Delhi, India. This is nice because it gives people a more specific sense of where you're from, especially if you're from a well-known city.
Now, if you were born in one place but raised somewhere else, which is super common these days, you can make that distinction. I was born in Mumbai, but I was raised in New Delhi.
Notice the preposition, they're born in, raised in. Don't say, I was born at Mumbai or I was raised from New Delhi. Those don't work in English.
You can also mention your nationality. I'm Indian or I'm from India. Again, born in, raised in, from, these prepositions matter.
Now, if you currently live somewhere different from where you're from, you definitely want to mention that. I'm originally from Brazil, but I currently live in London.
Originally from is such a useful phrase. It immediately signals that you've moved. You can also say, I'm from Brazil originally, but now I live in London.
And if you want to add how long you've been there, I've been living in London for 3 years now, or I've lived in London for 3 years.
Both of those work. I've been living suggests it's ongoing and might continue. I've lived is a bit more neutral. Either way, you're giving people useful context.
This geography section is actually really important because it's a great conversation starter. People love asking follow-up questions about places. So don't just rush through it, give them something to work with.
Absolutely. All right, next up, what do you do?
This is the big one for professional contexts. And there are a few different ways to talk about your work depending on what you want to emphasize.
If you want to mention your company and position, then you say, I work at Google as a software engineer, or I work for Microsoft as a project manager.
Notice work at or work for. Both are fine. I work at tends to emphasize the place, while I work for emphasizes the organization. But honestly, native speakers use them interchangeably.
If you want to emphasize your field rather than a specific company, then you can say, I work in finance, I work in education, I work in healthcare.
Work in, that's the key phrase there. It's work in when you're talking about a field or industry.
Or you can just state your profession directly. I'm a teacher, I'm an engineer, I'm a nurse.
Super straightforward. And if you want to combine these, I'm a software engineer and I work at Amazon in their cloud computing division.
That gives people both your role and where you do it. Really comprehensive.
Now, what if you're between jobs, or you're a student who also works part-time?
Good question. If you're between jobs, you can say, I'm currently looking for opportunities in marketing, or I'm in between positions right now, but my background is in sales.
And if you're studying and working, you say, I'm a student, but I also work part-time as a cab driver, or I study engineering and I work part-time at a tech startup.
The key is to be clear about your current situation without over-explaining. Keep it concise.
Speaking of studying, let's talk about educational qualifications.
This is important for students, recent graduates, or anyone in academic environments. And just like with work, there are different ways to present this information.
If you've already graduated, I have a degree in psychology from Stanford University, or I studied computer science at MIT.
Notice the difference. I have a degree in versus I studied. Both work, but I have a degree in is a bit more formal and emphasizes the credential itself.
You can also specify what type of degree. I have a bachelor's degree in economics, I have a master's degree in public health, or I have a PhD in neuroscience.
Now, if you're currently studying, I'm studying law at Oxford, or I'm a law student at Oxford.
Both of those are perfect. And if you want to mention what year you're in, I'm a third-year medical student, or I'm in my final year of studying architecture.
For those of you who use more casual language with classmates, you can also say, I'm doing a degree in business, or I'm doing my master's in environmental science.
Doing a degree is very informal, very British, but you'll hear it a lot in universities. Just know your audience. Don't use that in a job interview.
All right, related to education. If you're currently taking any specific courses or programs, you can mention those too.
For example, I'm currently taking a course in data analysis, or I'm enrolled in a certification program for project management.
Notice the prepositions again, taking a course in or enrolled in a program for. These little words matter so much in English.
A really common mistake I hear is, I'm doing a course on data analysis. Now, grammatically, that's not wrong, but in is much more natural for the subject you're studying. On makes it sound like you're teaching about data analysis rather than learning it.
Great point. You can also mention the duration. I'm taking a 6-month course in digital marketing, or I'm enrolled in a 2-year MBA program.
And if you've recently completed something, I just finished a course in graphic design, or I recently completed a certification in cybersecurity.
This kind of information is especially useful if you're trying to show that you're actively learning and developing new skills. Employers and academic institutions love that.
Now let's talk about experience. This is especially relevant for professional introductions, but can apply to other contexts too.
The most common way to talk about experience is to mention how many years you've been in your field. I have 5 years of experience in marketing. Or, I've been working in education for 10 years.
Both structures work perfectly.
You can also mention previous roles. Before this, I worked as a sales manager at ABC Company. Or previously, I was a researcher at a biotech firm.
And if you want to highlight specific expertise, I specialize in social media strategy, or my main focus has been on renewable energy projects.
One thing to avoid. Don't list every single job you've ever had in your introduction. Pick the most relevant 1 or 2 experiences that support whatever context you're in.
Exactly. If you're at a marketing conference, they don't need to know you worked at a restaurant during university unless it's somehow relevant. Stay focused.
Now, all of what we've covered so far works for pretty much any professional or academic context. But what about more informal situations?
Right, like if you're at a social event or meeting new people in a casual setting, you might want to share some personal information. And one of the most common things people mention is family.
So here's how to talk about your family without making common mistakes. To describe your family size, you say, I come from a family of 5, or there are 4 people in my family.
Here's the mistake I hear constantly. I have 5 family members. That sounds really weird in English. Don't count yourself as a member when describing your family size. Say, I come from a family of 5, or there are 5 of us in my family.
Perfect. And if you want to mention siblings, I have 2 brothers, I have 1 sister, or I have 1 brother and 1 sister.
You can also say, I'm an only child, if you have no siblings, or I'm the youngest of 3, or I'm the oldest of 4.
And if you're married or have kids, you can mention that too. I'm married with 2 kids, or I have a daughter who's 5 years old.
Keep it brief, unless someone asks for more details. Your introduction isn't the place for your entire family history.
Another thing people often mention in casual introductions, hobbies and interests.
Yes, this is great for making connections with people. And there are several ways to phrase this.
In my free time, I enjoy reading and hiking, or I like to play guitar and cook.
You can also say, my hobbies include photography and traveling, or I'm really into fitness and outdoor sports.
I'm really into is very casual and enthusiastic. It shows genuine passion for something.
Or you can be more specific. I love playing chess. I'm passionate about painting. I enjoy going to concerts.
The key here is to mention things that might actually lead to interesting conversations. I like watching TV is boring. I'm obsessed with true crime documentaries is much more interesting.
Exactly. Give people something they can ask about or relate to.
Alright, here's an optional one that depends entirely on the context, your age.
In professional settings, you usually don't mention your age at all. But in casual situations, especially with peers, it sometimes comes up.
The straightforward way, I'm 25 years old, or just, I'm 25.
You don't always need to say years old. The number alone is fine. Now, if you don't want to be super specific, you can give a range. I'm in my 20s, I'm in my early 30s, I'm in my mid-40s.
Early, mid, or late, those qualifiers let you be a bit vague while still giving people a general idea.
Honestly though, unless you're in a situation where age is relevant, like a student orientation where everyone's around the same age, you can just skip this part entirely.
Okay, final component, and this one is actually kind of challenging. The fun fact.
Oh, I hate this one. Tell us a fun fact about yourself. And then your mind goes completely blank, right?
Every single time. Here's the thing though. If you know this might come up, which it often does in icebreaker situations or first day of class introductions, prepare something in advance.
Yes. Don't try to think of something clever on the spot. Have one ready. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering. It just needs to be something mildly interesting or unique about you.
Some categories that work well: unusual places you've been, interesting skills or talents, fun jobs you've had, unique hobbies, weird accomplishments.
For example, I could say, a fun fact about me is that I'm hypermobile, which means I can bend my fingers back really far. And then I'd demonstrate, and people would be appropriately horrified.
See, that's memorable. Or I might say, a fun fact about me is that I visited 15 countries but never left Asia.
Or it could be something like, I can solve a Rubik's Cube in under 2 minutes. Or I once won a pie-eating contest. Or I speak 3 languages.
The format is usually, A fun fact about me is that, and then your fact. Keep it short, keep it light, and have it ready to go.
And if you're asked for a fun fact and you genuinely can't think of anything, it's okay to say something like, I'm still thinking of a good fun fact, but I'll tell you one when it comes to me. Better than awkward silence.
Alright, so now you have all the components. But here's the thing. If you just string them together as separate sentences, it's going to sound choppy and unnatural.
Right. Let me show you what I mean. Here's a basic introduction using everything we've covered.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm from India. I live in Canada now. I work at a tech company. I'm a software developer. I studied computer science. I have a degree from Delhi University. I've been working for 4 years. I come from a family of 4. I like reading.
Now, is that grammatically correct? Yes, but does it sound natural? No, it sounds like a robot reading flashcards.
Exactly. So let's take that same information and make it flow. Watch this.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm originally from India, but I've been living in Canada for the past 2 years. I work as a software developer at a tech company here, and I studied computer science at Delhi University back home. I've got about 4 years of experience in the field now. I come from a family of 4. My parents and my younger brother are all still in India. In my free time, I love reading, especially science fiction.
See the difference? Same information, but now it flows like an actual conversation.
We combined related ideas, added connecting words like but, and, especially, and we varied the sentence structure so it doesn't feel repetitive.
This is the skill you want to develop. Start with the basic sentences, get your information down, and then practice smoothing it out into something that sounds natural.
And you don't have to include every single category we discussed. Pick what's relevant for your situation. A casual introduction at a party might focus more on where you're from, your hobbies, and a fun fact. A professional introduction might emphasize your work, education, and experience.
Exactly. Tailor it to your audience and context.
So here's what I want you to do. Right now, pause this video if you need to and write out your own introduction using what we've covered today.
Start with the basics. Greeting, name, where you're from, what you do. Then add in the details that are relevant to you. Education, experience, family, hobbies, whatever fits.
Write it out in simple sentences first. Then go back and connect those sentences into something that flows naturally. Read it out loud to yourself. Does it sound like how you'd actually talk?
And then, this is the important part, memorize it. Not word for word like a script, but know the structure and the key points. Practice it until you can deliver it smoothly without reading.
Because here's the truth. You're going to need this. Maybe next week, maybe next month, but at some point, someone's going to say, so, tell me about yourself, and you'll be so glad you prepared.
And the more you practice your introduction, the more confident you'll become delivering it. Confidence makes a huge difference in how people perceive you.
Absolutely. And remember, you can have different versions for different contexts. A 30-second version for quick networking, a 2-minute version for more formal situations, a casual version for social events.
But they all build from the same foundation we've covered today.
All right, before we wrap up, I want to give you a challenge. Down in the comments, write out your introduction. Use what you've learned in this video.
And if you want, include your fun fact. I'm genuinely curious what you all come up with.
And here's the cool part. You can actually help each other. If you see someone else's introduction in the comments and you notice a small grammar mistake or have a suggestion for making it flow better, leave a kind, helpful comment.
This is a great way to practice both writing and giving constructive feedback. Everyone wins.
And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. It really helps us know what kind of content you want more of.
Subscribe if you haven't already because we're putting out new videos almost every day, all designed to help you actually use English in real-life situations, not just past tests.
All right, I think that's everything. Michael, do you have a final thought?
Just this. Introducing yourself doesn't have to be scary. With a little preparation, you can walk into any room, any situation, and confidently tell people who you are. You've got this.
Couldn't have said it better. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you in the next video.
Take care.
Bye. Before finishing today's video, if you enjoyed this lesson, don't stop here. Watch a similar video on the left.
Or continue with the full playlist on the right to keep improving your English step by step. And if learning English feels easier here and helps you speak with confidence, subscribe to the channel for simple, practical lessons every day.